Hello, everyone. Yes, it is 5:30, and in the absence of both the mayor and the mayor pro tem as the city clerk, I now call the July 14th, 2026 special meeting of the West Richland City Council to order at 5:30 p.m. The first order of business is to select a chair for tonight's meeting. So if there is a motion by anyone on council to either volunteer or nominate someone to serve as chair for tonight's meeting.
I'll volunteer in the absence
His
of.
volunteerism.
All right. I think that was a motion. So, and a second to nominate Councilmember Smart as the chair pro tem for tonight's meeting. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed? All right, Councilmember Smart, if you want to take there's a script for you there at the middle chair.
Okay, very good. So where are we at here, Stephanie, on number 2? I'm in blue. Got it. And I don't have to press the button. That's nice. Let's see. We'll ask for roll call.
Right. Councilmember Cole,
Here.
Councilmember Fetto,
Here.
Councilmember Moran,
Present.
Councilmember Ritchie, Councilmember Smart,
Here.
Councilmember Stoker.
Here.
As I'd mentioned, both Mayor Brink and Mayor Pro Tem Bloom are out of town this evening.
Great. Are we going to say the Pledge of Allegiance tonight? Is that on?
We don't have that on typically on a special
Oh.
meeting agenda.
Is that right? Okay. Well, I guess we'll forego that. Yeah, is there a place to move to approve absences? No?
We don't have to do that for special meetings either.
Okay, all right, good to know. All right, I will stick to the blue lettering then. Let's see. So we've got our consent agenda. Our first item of business at tonight's special meeting is the consent agenda. Tonight's consent agenda includes payment of the bills, Resolution 3326, setting the public hearing date, utility easement vacation for file number VACA 0012026. Resolution 3426, which is setting the public hearing date for utility easement vacation for file number VACA 2/2026. Resolution 3526, setting the public hearing date for a utility easement vacation for file number VACA 0032026. Resolution 3626, also setting a public hearing date for the utility easement vacation for file number VACA 004-2026. A motion authorizing the mayor to execute professional service contract for sewer SCADA control systems Northwest. A motion authorizing the mayor to execute professional service contract for the water SCADA control systems Northwest. Motion authorizing the mayor to execute professional service contract for VFD replacement wells number 7 and number 9 control systems Northwest. A motion authorizing staff to submit the Transportation Improvement Board Arterial Preservation Program and Urban Arterial Program grant applications. J, a motion to accept the Keene Road overlay project as complete. K, motion to accept the Bombing Range Sports Complex fencing project as complete. L, a motion to authorize mayor to execute purchase and sale agreement for 6461 Keene Road. M, motion to cancel the July 21st, 2026 regular city council meeting. And, oh, I'm sorry, ordinance. Yeah, thank you. Ordinance 1526 declaring a 6-month moratorium on citing less restrictive alternative, or LRA, facilities serving sexually violent predators and setting a public hearing. Next, a motion authorizing the City of West Richland Chief of Police to submit the DOJ COPS Hiring Program Grant application. And O, a motion for the mayor to authorize the West Richland Police Department to utilize the funds awarded by DOJ Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership Program. At this time, I'll open the public comment period for the consent agenda. Is there anyone present who would like to comment on any item included on the consent agenda? Please note that the comments during this portion of the meeting must be limited to the consent agenda and items that were just read into the record. Comments on other topics may be made during the general public comment period later in the meeting. If so, please come to the podium and state your name and city of residence for the record. I don't see anybody. So this is a time for public comment on the items in the consent agenda. For the agenda in general. For the consent agenda items I just read. So yes, if you have a comment on one of those, that you're welcome to approach the podium, state your name and city of residence.
My name is Katie Anderson. I live here in West Richland. I'm curious to a couple of things as to why we're motioning to authorize the mayor to execute services without the mayor or mayor pro tem here and substituting a chair on a meeting where it was called for the 21st of July when she called it into order, but we're canceling that meeting. Why wouldn't we want the mayor to be here to authorize these actions? Like I said, it's a question. I'm not
right.
judging or anything.
So we're not asking the mayor to authorize something here tonight. We're giving permission for the mayor to authorize those items as a response to our council meeting here. Let me let Jessica chime in on this.
That's correct, Councilmember Smart, or Pro Tem Chair Smart. I just wanted to remind the citizens that generally we won't go back and forth with council, but a lot of times staff can meet with people afterwards to answer any questions they might have.
Okay. And could you explain what the moratorium is on item N?
So
I understand it's not a back and forth. I just, is this a pause on allowing citing LRA, or is it we're not going to? Is there going to be further comments or allowability to have that conversation?
I think at the end of the meeting, our community development director might comment on that, or perhaps Jessica. But again, we can't go back and forth at this time. I'm not allowed to answer questions to people making comments during this part of our meeting. So there will be an opportunity for council members and staff to make comments at the end of this meeting. At which time, or do we not have that part on this meeting? No, Stephanie says we don't. Sorry, this is a special council meeting. Or you could certainly approach staff after the
Well, I
meeting.
don't want to harass anybody, but I saw the agenda I had some questions, but okay, thank you.
So I would just remind the audience and community members that, our staff is available for questions throughout the week. So, and possibly after the meeting if they're here. All right. So I think were there any other comments or questions from the audience tonight? And then are there any online that have questions or comments? And I see none, but I need to get back to my script. Okay. So is there anyone virtually who would like to provide a comment? If so, please raise your hand, your virtual hand. Please begin with your name and city of residence for the record. Stephanie, do you see anyone?
Not seeing anyone with their hand up, no.
So if there's no further public comments, can I have the motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I second.
All in favor? And
Aye.
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 thank you. Say aye. All opposed? Sorry for this hesitation there. All right. Thank you. Thank you, council. So next we're at ordinance resolutions, motions, and public hearing. Our first is item 4A. So resolution 3726, amending procurement policies. Item 4A and B are two resolutions updating the city's procurement policies and outlining the small works roster. Finance Director Aaron Gwen will present the staff report for both agenda items. Aaron.
Thank you. Good evening, council citizens. So this evening, I'm bringing forward a new updated purchasing and procurement policy for adoption. Our existing policy has been in place since 2017. And frankly, it's just become difficult to work with, both in day-to-day use and when we need to update it. This new policy modernizes our procurement framework, makes it more user-friendly, and positions us to amend it more efficiently as laws and requirements change over time. The most notable change is an updated purchasing authority matrix. Currently, department heads have authority up to $10,000. Under the new policy, this threshold increases to $25,000. And then the Public Works Director can move forward with dual approval from myself up to $50,000. And the mayor has authority up to $100,000, also with dual approval with myself. Anything above the $100,000 will need to come to council for approval. This policy also includes a new appendix specifically addressing using the small works roster with MRSC, which is a separate resolution, and an appendix within the procurement policy. Let's see. Also in this is a requirement for federally funded purchases, ensuring we're in compliance with the uniform guidance under 2 CFR Part 200 anytime we're spending federal grant money. Attached within the packet is the full policy document and the 2 resolutions. Staff recommends passing both resolutions.
Thank you, Aaron. First, we'll hear in-person comments on this topic and then virtual attendee comments. If you're in the audience and wish to speak, please come to the podium and state your name and city of residence for the record. You will have 3 minutes to provide your comments. Anybody in the audience want to comment on this resolution? Say again? Oh, sure. So we're asking for anybody in the audience who has a comment on Resolution 3726, amending procurement policies, which our staff just described.
Also 3826 for the
Oh, and also
both. Mhm.
3826, which is establishing small public works roster and authority to use the roster process to award small public works contracts. So seeing none, I'll ask if there's anyone attending virtually who would like to provide comment. If so, please raise your hand, your virtual hand. Please begin with your name and city of residence for the record. Stephanie, do you see any?
Not.
Okay, then, council, do I have a motion for Resolution 3726, amending the procurement policies?
I move to pass Resolution 37-26, adopting a new purchasing procurement policy for the city of West Richland, superseding the existing policy in its entirety.
Second.
Okay, so does council have any questions that were not previously addressed in the staff report provided? Councilmember Stoker.
Yes, so I look back at the way our current policy is and the approval authority. So my question is mainly around the matrix. Director/mayor authority is from $0 to $10,000. The mayor has authority from $10,000 to $25,000. and anything over 25,000 needs approval from the city council. So I'm curious as to what was the basis for coming up with the numbers that we currently have, to where directors and departments heads are basically 2.5 times greater now. The public works director is 5 times greater now, and the mayor is 4 times greater now. So what's the basis for this?
It was a lot of it. And this, I think the original was from 2017. So the costs from 10 years ago has dramatically increased. And I would say it's kind of on efficiencies for doing business. Let's say the HVAC goes out in a building. HVACs have gotten quite expensive. And so over $25,000. So it delays things like getting air conditioning in a building until we have a council meeting and it can be approved. So that's just one example. But the public works in general has larger ones. Let's say their crack ceiling one, and I think that one would actually come here, but it's a normal one that we have that's like $50,000 to $60,000 annually. It's in the budget. It's part of routine business, and it just takes down administrative time. The one thing because I was also hesitant and uncomfortable to some degree on so much leeway, and I will tell you, like, it was a big discussion among staff as well as the finance committee, and the solution was that it's dual authority from myself. So before we did not have that, and so this is so that like you just don't have a single person going out and being able to do this. So you have the guard of having to have 2 people.
Okay, and I certainly can appreciate that. Now, and I don't mean to be rude or mean or anything or cast any aspersions, but to me, the mayor with dual approval of the finance director is a boss to a subordinate type of situation. It feels to me like there's not a sharing of control percent in that, as far as that is perceived. And when I was reading through this, maybe the situation of an HVAC system going out, to me, that's kind of an emergency situation. And I certainly can appreciate emergency situations, but I didn't see that being a limiting factor in what I was reading, that the mayor or the public works director can spend $50,000 or $100,000 in a situation that maybe isn't an emergency situation.
It's like routine business also. So it's more on like, because it's a lot of staff time. We don't have a lot of staff here in the city. We're limiting. So it's a lot on the administrative side, because preparing documents and everything to come to council can just be time as well. And so just looking for efficiencies across the board is kind of also.
Well, I'm going to say I still struggle with this. No. I mean, I would certainly be happier. I understand the efficiencies. I understand the limits of our staff time. But $100,000 is quite a bit in my mind. I'd be much more comfortable if these numbers were all cut in half, and personally.
Are there other comments from council members on this topic? I will chime in then, because I also had a comment, I think, very similar to Councilmember Stoker's. It's I think those numbers, $100,000 spending authority for the mayor with only our finance director's approval, who is a subordinate to the mayor. To me, I don't think that affords the mayor a whole lot of protection in making the decision to spend $100,000 of our funds without a subcommittee's approval or a at least one or two, maybe, I guess a subcommittee would be appropriate in my opinion to at least have reviewed. That's three council members. It's not the whole council. And subcommittee meetings are called on a regular basis, impromptu, happens all the time. Usually a day or two in advance, hopefully we get a notice to come to a subcommittee meeting. But it just seems like the 100,000 is too much in my mind, and I would agree with Councilmember Stoker that maybe cutting that in half could be appropriate. I also think there should be some mention or some verbiage in this policy that does address emergency use versus casual. And I won't say casual, I guess, because spending $50,000 should not be casual. But that could be a routine purchase for, I don't know, say a vehicle or an expensive upgrade contract or something like that. I do not know. The possibilities are endless, but without some verbiage that says, yeah, we're giving this authority to our department heads and our mayor to take care of particularly urgent problems versus just a blanket coverage. Any day of the week, if you want to buy a new Kubota tractor, Public Works Director, go ahead, because if it's under 50K, you've got authority. I don't really like that. So I think there needs to be smaller amounts, and I think there needs to be some additional degree of approval or consensus or some powwow amongst council. Council is supposed to hold the purse strings for the community. That's our job. And I'm not comfortable giving anybody permission to spend $100,000 without us knowing about it. So that's my comment. I'll ask for any others. Okay, so, oh, I'm sorry. Didn't see you, Kate. You're just too close here. Go ahead.
I apologize for putting you on the spot on this. I'm curious, what would you say on average we would get a payment that would be $50,000 or more that you would need to bring to the council with the prior?
It's more, payments happen regularly, let's be honest. Like with my bill to the IRS is more like 100 and some thousand. I think it was 103 last week. So payments is different than like contracts or larger purchases. And again, we have some contracts. Let's say we have the Apollo contract, which came to you guys, was a $10 million contract. Well, we make $3 million payments to them, or $1 million. I don't think it's been 3 yet, but we'll make those bigger payments, but it was prior approval from you guys. So those are the things. I don't know that you've seen, I would say vehicles and equipment might be the top, but they're not normal. They're like, and everything's within the budget. And I think it does state in here, if it did need a budget amendment, it's a requirement that it would need to come in here for increased appropriations. But it's not super often, but it does happen. Especially, yeah, I would say more on the public works side. That's where like their day-to-day operations, they're dealing with asphalt, heavier equipment, and that such stuff.
So what you're saying, just want to make sure I understand, anything that would be paid for with this would be within the budget already that we would have approved. So it's not anything beyond what we would have approved previously anyway.
No, if it's going to require a budget amendment, you would see a budget amendment prior to that being spent. And that was actually one of the reasons for me saying, well, dual authority is to make sure that it was in the budget, as well as you see the list of rules that we have to follow in here. Did we follow the public works process? Did we follow the small works roster? Other things before we just go and sign things. And that was kind of where that dual was, just to kind of a check and balance.
Gotcha. And then also, if I remember correctly, as the finance director, you have extra requirements legally, or is that not correct?
I think it's ethically more than legally. yeah, ethically, we're supposed to be held to a higher standard around money.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it just, I think that from what you've given me, I feel comfortable with it because if it's things that we've already put in the budget and you, like you said, are held to a higher ethical standard already, I'm very comfortable with this.
Anyone else? So I have a quick comment on your conclusion there. Although the budget may have been approved by us, this would cover purchases that we wouldn't necessarily have been informed of in advance. Is that correct? Like heating and air conditioning repairs,
Yeah,
or a small, or a vehicle or something like that.
Yeah, I would say vehicle is less likely. I mean, that pretty much needs to be in the budget, but yes, it is. And then again, a lot of times we'll like even what we've done to pay for a heating unit in the past is like we will build in contingency in there for emergencies to happen. And so yes, it's within the budget. Were we planning on spending it? Not necessarily, but it was built within the budget.
I guess the other comment that I should have made before is that in addition to my desire to see the numbers for the mayor and possibly Roscoe, I was hoping there'd be more discussion on this, cut in half, but also for Roscoe's expenditures, instead of just having you as the second person, but have the mayor as well. Again, I think it protects our staff, our mayor, our directors as much as it does the public's interest.
Well, I think that the way it's written, I feel like the mayor can approve them as well. So, but
Good.
I kind of built it in there so that if the mayor is out of town or he does a lot of different conferences and stuff, and if there's something that comes up, I'm usually here and it's control, because the other side of the control was I have reporting requirements to the state auditor's office and in our financial report. And my fear when putting this together was that I wouldn't have knowledge of contracts, because you can go sign a $20,000 contract and it's for 3 years, and that becomes a liability to the city in the terms of when I'm reporting in the annual financial report. And if I don't know about it, I can't get it. So this was kind of one of those steps also as an assurance level so that I'm aware of it. And so yes, it's a control in that way, but also to make sure that we're staying on top of those things.
Yeah, that's great. I would actually advocate for you to be informed or to give your consent on any of these purchases, in addition to, in the case of the Public Works Director, the mayor. So that's, yeah, I think that
that was the solution, was because the Public Works Director can continue working, and the mayor isn't. I mean, he's here a lot. He's here most of the time. But he's meant like the position is a part-time position. So it's like if he's not, then it's like somebody that is here.
So then just to wrap up my comments is to say that, again, the council is supposed to hold the purse strings to the city, and we are ultimately responsible as a group for the financial well-being of the city. And the way it's written right now, there's no place where we would necessarily have to be informed of $100,000, $90,000 expenditure. I mean, I'm sure we would, I hope, but I mean, it doesn't say that in writing. So
It comes through in the payment of the bills. I guess that's where you would see it. And I know that that's a lot. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of information in those, but I don't know.
yeah.
Mhm.
The 4,000 item 50-page packet that we get to sign every month. Yeah, that's difficult to try to find, maybe 3 payments of $30,000 or something like that.
And
So
If I may,
yeah, please
that's
go ahead.
specifically why I put my card up, is to say, hey, council members now are going to have to be really diligent in reviewing
Yeah.
the payment of the bills in our packet, because if there's no reporting mechanism, this still just makes me feel really uncomfortable.
Okay. All right. So, at that point, I guess we'll ask now, let me be clear, Stephanie, we're going to do the resolution 3726 amending procurement policies first.
There is a motion on
Yeah,
the floor
yes.
to approve resolution 3726.
So if there are no further comments, I'd ask for all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed?
Okay,
Nay.
no.
3-2. So it doesn't look like it passed. I would encourage us to readdress this because I don't want to hold up the progress of making good policy. But I think I would listen to the notes on what we talked about tonight. So the next is resolution 3826, establishing a small public works roster and authority to use the roster process to award small public works contracts.
Point of information.
Yes, yeah.
I'm curious, without having 37-26 approved, are we able to do 38-26? We are, okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Policy.
Yeah, good question. So let's see, I do have a motion for resolution 38. Do I have a motion? Thank you. Wow. Do I have a motion for resolution 3826, establishing a small public works roster?
I move to pass resolution 38-26, establishing a small public works roster and the authority to use the roster process to award small public works contract, a consultant services roster for general consulting and other professional services, and a vendor roster for goods and services.
Second,
The motion and a second. Thank you. So does council have any questions that were not previously addressed by the staff report provided? Seeing none, I'll ask all in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. And all opposed? Looks like that resolution passes. Thank you, council. So next we have resolution 3926, adopting updated financial management policies. Item 4C is a resolution adopting the updated financial management policies. Finance Director Aaron Gwynn will again present the staff report.
Right, thank you. So this next item is also me. Tonight, we have a few updates to the city's financial management policies, specifically to the asset management section. The first change is to our capital asset threshold, the minimum value at which we capitalize and track long-term assets. We're recommending to increase from $5,000 to $10,000. This brings us in line with most municipalities are doing and aligns the threshold with the federal threshold, and it reduces administrative workload, formally tracking lower value items over their life. The second change is to our small and attractive asset threshold. This includes things for like electronics and portable equipment. We track for accountability, even though they don't meet the capital threshold. We're recommending to increase this from $499 to $1,000, which better reflects today's costs. And again, reduces the administrative burden for tracking items over the life within the city. Based on recommendation from the Finance Committee, we're also added the statement that says all firearms will be considered an attractive asset regardless of their cost. Finally, we're removing a provision that required finance staff to formally submit for the GFOA Distinguished Budget Award each biennium. This allows us to redirect that staff time toward core financial operations. All three changes are minor in scope, but meaningful for operation and efficiency. Staff is recommending passing the resolution.
Thank you, Aaron. First, we'll hear in-person comments on this topic and then virtual attendee comments. If you're in the audience and wish to speak, please come to the podium, state your name and city of residence for the record. You will have 3 minutes to provide your comments. Anyone? Is there anyone attending virtually who would like to provide a comment? If so, please raise your virtual hand. Please begin with your name and city of residence for the record. Stephanie, do you see anyone?
I do not see anyone, no.
Okay, thank you. So council, do I have a motion?
I move to pass Resolution 3926, amending the financial management policies for the city of West Richland.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Does council have any questions that were not previously addressed by the staff report provided? Seeing none, I'll ask all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then all opposed? Looks like resolution 3926 passes. Thank you, council. Resolution 4026, amending the master fee schedule for sanitary sewer service charges. Item 4D is a resolution amending the master fee schedule related to sanitary sewer service charges. Finance Director Aaron Gwynn will present the staff report for the Public Works Director Roscoe Slade, who is on vacation this week. Aaron's on again.
All right, thank you. So yes, as you stated, I'm presenting this on behalf of Public Works Director Roscoe Slade. This is a resolution amending the sewer utility rates in the master fee schedule. Public Works and Finance staff have updated the sewer rate model with 2025 actual expenditures and the 2026 adopted budget and estimated revenue and expenditures through 2034. The update incorporates approximately $13 million in planned upgrades, replacement of existing components and equipment at the wastewater treatment plant that have outlived their useful life as part of the proposed wastewater treatment plant expansion project. This rate model also assumes the city will adopt a separate future action, a convenience fee model for credit card payments starting by January 1st, 2028. The resolution would adopt rates from 2027 to 2032. The monthly sewer rates associated with this resolution are as follows. In 2027, will be $58.95, which is a $2.50 increase from current master fee schedule rate. 2028 is $62.45, also a $2.50 increase. 2029, $64.95, a $2 increase. And 2030, $67.45, a $2 increase. 2031 is a $68.45, a $1 increase, and 2032, $69.45, and at a $1 increase. The updated sewer rate model and associated rate increases were reviewed by the city's utility committee on June 8th. Staff and utility committee recommend adopting the resolution.
Thank you for that, Aaron. First, we'll hear in-person comments on this topic and then virtual attendee comments. If you're in the audience and wish to speak, please come to the podium, state your name and city of residence. You'll have 3 minutes to provide comments. Seeing none, is there anyone attending virtually who would like to provide a comment? If so, please raise your virtual hand. Please begin with your name and city of residence for the record. Stephanie, do you see anyone?
I do not see anyone, no.
Okay, seeing none, we'll ask council for a motion.
I move to adopt Resolution 40-26, amending master fee schedule for sanitary sewer services, service charges.
Second.
Thank you. Does the council have any questions that were not previously addressed by the staff report? Seeing none, I'll ask for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? And I say aye as well. So thank you. Looks like the resolution has passed. Thank you, council. So up next is public comment. Next, we have this opportunity for public comments. If you wish to speak, please come to the podium, state your name and city of residence. You'll have 3 minutes to provide your comments. In the interest of time, I would ask that if you have already spoken on an agenda item during a previous public comment opportunity, that you refrain from repeating those same comments during this portion of the meeting. Council has already received and considered those remarks. Is there anyone attending? Oh, sorry. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to make public comment at this time? Okay. And then is there anyone attending virtually who would like to provide comment? If so, please raise your virtual hand. Please begin with your name and city of residence for the record. Stephanie, do you see anyone?
I do not see anyone, no.
Okay, without that, since this is a special meeting, we are at the conclusion, and this meeting is now concluded at 6:10 p.m. Thank you.